Hi, Reston Digs. It's Rob Chevez, and today I have the pleasure of talking to Rachel here at Elden Street Tea Shop.
Yep.
Thanks so much for having us. This is
Welcome.
exciting. This is my first tea shop experience,
Ooh.
right? So you're gonna have to educate me a little bit on the etiquette. I want to make sure I don't do anything wrong, right? But really, the purpose today is to learn about your story, right? You were referred to us actually by Rowantree, right?
Yeah.
The founders of Rowantree, who were like, "Oh, you've got to meet Rachel. She's amazing. She's building community." And so we're all about building community and letting other people know about the community. So I'm so glad we're finally able to meet and connect.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Elden Street Tea Shop.
Thank you so much.
Anybody who's new that comes to the shop, we usually start out by welcoming them here. We're a little bit different of a tea shop, as opposed, you were asking about etiquette. Mm-hmm. We do say no running in the tea shop. But other than that, we're not a very uptight tea shop. We're a tea shop for the community, and we like to have families, and we like to have a more relaxed experience here than you would probably at a lot of other tea rooms. That's why we call it a tea shop instead of a tea room.
Oh, okay.
Because we do sell loose leaf bulk tea. That's kind of our main focus, but we also do afternoon tea. Once a month, we do afternoon tea themed events. We just had a murder mystery tea.
Oh, that's
which
cool.
was a lot of fun. And we also do.
I saw a Harry Potter one come up. I was watching Harry Potter last night, actually. Yeah.
And Harry Potter is already sold out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We sell out of Harry Potter very quickly. But we will be doing more Harry Potter in the future. We also do private events as well. So.
Can I ask you a quick question? Why tea? Right? I love learning the journey of the entrepreneur. Like, how did this come about?
This is not my first business. My first business I started 10 years ago. I still have my first business. I make custom foot orthotics, and I'm a certified podorthist. And what that means is I am certified to evaluate, make, and fabricate custom foot orthotics.
Okay.
So like insoles that go into people's shoes to help them walk better and more comfortably and run better.
Okay.
More comfortably.
Oh, I see the natural transition to tea.
Yeah. No. So people like to joke that I like to heal your soul and your soul with tea, but that's the only connection really. But because, so I have that business, but I am a resident of Herndon, and Herndon is in a growing phase right now. And I would like to see more small independent shops and businesses in the town. Herndon already has a lot of small independent businesses, but I want to see more tourism. I want to bring more tourism to the town, and so that was the reason I started the tea shop. My first iteration of the tea shop was going to be a dry goods bulk supply store. So you could come here and get nuts, you can come in here and get dry goods, tea, coffees, you have it, spices, whatever. But I decided that was going to be too much of a inventory nightmare.
Sounds complex.
Yeah, and what I knew the most was tea. So I've been drinking tea since college, and I really started delving into it about six years ago, and really getting to know it and love loose leaf tea. Do you know a lot about loose leaf tea?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know anything.
Well, so the difference between loose leaf tea and bagged tea that you get at the grocery store, although some grocery stores do have loose leaf now, but the difference between our tea and most of the tea out there is when you have loose leaf tea, it allows for the hot water to hit the leaves and the leaves to be able to unfurl completely, and therefore extracting all of the oils and all of the flavor from the tea. So it's a much better tea experience than just having little dusted fannings, what they call the little broken bits of tea leaves in the tea bag, and getting almost some of the tea taste, but not all of it, and maybe getting not the tea taste that you are really wanting.
Okay.
So that's the difference between loose leaf tea and bagged tea. So it's a different tea experience. We also curate the teas here.
So you have a tea library?
Tea library.
Okay.
And we call it the tea library because each one of those teas are hand selected and tested. We actually single blind and double blind test the teas before we bring them into the shop.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they go through a rigorous process to be here. So all of our teas are chosen with care and respect, and so that's how
And where do the teas come from? Like all over?
All over the world. I find a lot of my tea vendors when I go to the World Tea Expo, but I also find a lot of my vendors through talking to other people in the tea industry as well. But I try to we actually work with three local blenders in the area. We're so grateful to have 3 tea blenders in the area that we like. So we do have locally blended tea. And what that means is they take the tea leaves and they blend them with other tea leaves or flowers or herbs or whatever and make those great concoctions that you see on the shelves and get the different flavor combinations.
Okay.
But if you're not getting the blended tea, then we get it from all over the world. I work with some small tea farms all across the world. In Japan, India, I work with a women-owned tea farm in India for
That's
our
awesome.
Assam and Darjeeling tea, which I'm so happy to start working with them. And in Japan, we have a small tea farmer as well. So
That's exciting, right?
So helping small business across the world too.
I know, that's amazing. That's a rewarding experience. You're helping that entrepreneur.
Right.
Here it's this just cycle,
Yeah.
of giving.
Right.
Very cool. And I know that our daughter loves mint tea and it soothes her, and do you find that people come in and say, oh, I've got tummy troubles or I've got indigestion trouble, what kind of tea do you know all the medicinal recipes around tea?
So we don't diagnose here. We don't use tea in a medicinal way. We can only encourage certain aspects of the tea. But we do have tea that is very soothing. Yogi's Tonic is one of our most popular one. It has fennel and anise and chamomile and lavender, and it's really good for just an end of day tea. Mint is really good, for digestion and things like that. So we do steer people in those directions, but we never will.
Diagnose. We're not a doctor. Okay. Well, I saw also when I went online, I noticed that you're doing a lot in the community. This specifically, you've got these events, right? Like the Harry Potter tea event, right? There's another one coming up. What's the other one that's
So this one is a lot of fun. It's our Beetlejuice. We have a Beetlejuice themed tea coming up, which is going to be great. I can't wait. We're gonna
Do you dress up?
So we're gonna dress up, and we're also gonna recreate the dinner scene.
Oh yes.
In Beetlejuice, yeah.
That's gonna be awesome.
We like to have a lot of fun with our events. We like to create an experience that people won't necessarily get anywhere else, and make it a lot more than just having little sandwiches and scones. Although that's great too, and we really appreciate doing that, but having that extra little bit of flair and entertainment.
Of course, life is about that, right?
Yeah.
It's about having fun. And then do you have parties? Do you ever have corporate events, corporate parties?
So we do small business, business events. We also do bridal showers. We're doing baby showers. We're trying to get our first pop-up wedding here.
Okay.
So anybody getting married, then, let them know that we're going to be an option.
I think that's awesome.
A couple of the community events that we're going to be doing upcoming is we're doing the Holiday Homes Tour. We're going to be on the Holiday Homes Tour in for Herndon. And then we're also going to do the winter market as well. So.
Is that because this is a historic home in Herndon? Is that part of, do you know the history of this home?
The history of this home is so cool. It's actually a heroine story. The woman that owned this building, Mrs. Stern, she, in 1917, there was the Pine Street Fire. And basically, it was the big fire in Herndon, and there was many fires in Herndon because Herndon didn't have a fire department.
Okay.
So everything just caught on fire.
Wow.
And so the big fire was, it actually started at the end of the street and then marched up Pine Street, which is the street we're on. Basically, Mrs. Stern had to make the decision. They came to her and asked her, can we blow up your house in order to save the rest of the residential houses in the neighborhood? And she was like, her literal quote is, if it will save the town, do what you will with my house.
Wow.
And so they blew up her house and it stopped the fire. And she's a hero.
That's awesome. Dynamite the house?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, so they used fire suppression, explosion to stop the fire. So anyway.
That is such a cool story, right? It's like, that gets lost in the... So I'm so glad that you're able to tell that story.
Right.
That's cool.
And this house was actually built in 1923. So.
Okay. When was that? Do you know when the fire took place?
1917.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I also noticed that you donate a portion of profits to different local charities.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So we're kind of looking for a new charity right now, but when we first started our business, we wanted to give back to the community. So basically, we'll pick a charity every quarter, and then, or it could be 1 to 2 charities. We only work with local charities or organizations. Or chapters of a larger organization. And then they get a percentage of our profits from that quarter. So,
That's awesome.
And if we don't have profits, then we give them like $100.
Yeah, then you just... Then
it's a win-win for them either way. So, yeah.
That's cool.
But we try to give back, and it's really important. Our motto, one of our mottos is steeped in kindness, and we try to follow that.
Okay. And you've been at this location since December of 2018,
yes,
right? So,
correct.
okay.
Yes.
Before that, you had kind of like the pop-up.
Yeah. So we were at Art Space Herndon.
Oh, yeah.
And we were graciously given the opportunity to start our pop-up there.
Okay.
And basically we had about, 60, 70 square feet of space. It was very small. And we would do tea and board games there every Saturday.
Okay.
And it was a great event, and we really, they brought the community together. Kids got to play board games with their families, and screen time went down with them, and they just got to be together. And it was really cool to see that happen. We did that. We were only supposed to be there for 2 months. But then we ended up being there for almost a whole year because we were waiting for our original space to get done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
So.
I could see where you'd get to meet so many interesting people from that experience, right? Like you actually become part of the community, right? Which is rewarding.
And we got to get a lot of data on what our customers wanted and who they were and what they were buying. So that when we were opening, we knew exactly what to put into the shop. So,
well, what I love about your business, when I started doing some initial research on it, was how the website communicates community, right? Through the events, through the awesome reviews.
Oh, thank you.
We talked a little bit about podcasting, the challenge with podcasting, and how difficult it is. But that is so cool that you're doing that, right? So I encourage you to keep doing that, keep building community.
Yeah.
What would you like Reston Diggs to know about you, your business, that we just haven't discussed?
Yeah, I really like to just put out there that small business is so important to a community, and supporting small business is so important, because without the people coming and supporting them, there is no small business. And so, always just trying to think local, always encouraging others to come visit the local coffee shops or tea shop, and just keep supporting.
We have a team member on our team. She folded her business into our business, and she had an incredible tagline. I love it. It's live local, sell local, support local, right? And that really kind of resonates with us. Local businesses create a tapestry, right, within the business. And it's what makes a place fun and unique and different, right?
Right.
I see artwork all up and down, all in here, right? The B-roll will show it, but talk to me a little bit about that. Like, what is all this here? Who are these people?
So actually, you're very lucky today. We have a new artist in.
Okay.
Our artist in right now is Sandy Dovberg. She's actually not a Herndon person. She's a Reston person.
Okay.
So, but we're
all meshing it in.
Right? We're not exclusive.
That's
so,
right.
Very welcoming. So Sandy's artwork is up now, and what we try to do is every quarter have a new artist come in, a new local artist come in with their artwork. We've had tapestry, embroidery artwork. We've had block printing artwork, and basically they can put up as much art or as little art as they'd like. We can even have multiple artists come in at one time. We actually just had Monroe Street Studio up, which is right behind us, and basically they have their artwork up for about 2 or 3 months, and if it sells, then we get a commission and they get to have their artwork sold. They also get to do artist reception if they choose, and during the artist reception they can sell their artwork. They can sell more artwork if they want.
You get to serve tea.
You get to serve tea, and it's a great collaboration experience. Behind you, actually, you'll see is our yarn store.
This is the pop-up I saw.
Yeah.
You're paying it forward. Yeah.
So this is our yarn store. Our yarn pop is what we call it. A division of Elden Street Tea Shop. And this is Alyssa's 222 home handspun is who we have in right now. And every 2 months we get a new fiber artist that comes in. And on Saturdays, we actually have Sip and Stitch, where you can come and do yarn projects and stuff, and also see our featured yarn artists.
That's so cool.
And then we also have a pop-up bookstore, which we did we're doing a collaboration with Scrawl Books over in Reston, and we have what we call the book Nook. And it's over on the other side. Couple of things I've done through research is like on the Herndon community pages and stuff, people say like, well, what do we want to see in the town? And people are like, we want a yarn store or we want a bookstore. So I'm like, all right, yarn store, bookstore, here you go.
What a great way to actually pay that forward, right? Because it's not easy to set up a business and get rent and it's a commitment.
It is, and we're very much, I'm very much about collaborating with other businesses, because we're all in this together, and the more you can collaborate, the stronger the community will be. And so I'm very much, if anybody would like to do a pop-up, I'm very much into doing that.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, something that we haven't done is I haven't tried this tea, right?
So we poured you the cream Earl Grey.
Is there a special way to pour this?
So so the way we do tea here is we actually we do put it in the loose leaf into a bag just because it's a little easier to clean up. But we are going to be transitioning. When you get your pot of tea, you'll have the tea bag in here. We give you a little tea timer and we flip it over. And you wait for the appropriate amount of time for it to steep. Steeping is really important to teas because if it's a lighter tea, you don't want it to steep too long or else it'll get bitter. And if it's a darker tea, you want it to steep long enough that you get the flavor extracted. So when you pour the tea, make sure you hold the lid and you just kind of want to pour it in a way that it looks beautiful when it's being poured. And then you can also just kind of, when you're taking a sip of tea, I like to think about using all my senses. So, kind of smell it first, get the aromas, and then take a sip. It's all about slowing down and enjoying it.
And we chose here, this was the vanilla?
The cream Earl Grey.
Cream Earl Grey.
Very popular.
Oh yeah, that's nice. We've done it for the 5-minute strong already.
Yes.
Right? That's great.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We already steeped it. I took the tea bag out.
Reston Digs, this has been an amazing tea experience. You have to come check out Rachel and her tea shop. This is all about building community. So Rachel, I've got a serious question to ask you. Curiosity's killing me on this. Why is it called Elden Street Tea Shop when this is actually on Pine Street?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
We get this question a lot. The reason is we were originally supposed to be on Elden Street, but because of everything with the delays with our building, we ended up going into this building instead. So we were on Pine Street in Herndon. But the reason is, Elden Street is kind of an iconic street in Herndon. Everybody knows if you just drive down Elden Street, you'll be in the downtown part of Herndon. So I decided to keep it. That's the main reason. And then also we did a lot of marketing for Elden Street.
I was going to say, I was sure the marketing was done, business cards were done, shirts were done. We're just going with Elden Street.
Yeah, and because it's such a historic street in Herndon, I decided to keep it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, great story on that.
Thank you.
Very cool. Okay. Well, Reston Digs, it's Rob Chevez. I just want to say thank you for sharing some tea time with us, with Rachel and I. And if you get a chance, come to Pine Street to visit the Elden Street Tea Shop. Cheers.